Coming up outside, now inside. Christian.
That's why they give you hundreds of pounds. Now you know you can spit this. You got the whole world vibing the same. You ain't doing it to watch the change. You got love for the game.
Welcome to Love of the Game. I'm your host, SJ, and joining me for our Ultimate Basketball League show, we've got Alexander Foster, captain of the Parramatta Gold Wildcats, the reigning champs, and also the captain of the Bankstown Bruins. How are you today, man?
Yeah, man, I'm good. Thanks for having me.
No, it's a pleasure, man. I remember because like Cam Day, I love Cam Day. He's kind of been a big supporter. I love the game, and I kind of reached out to him and go, "Hey, bro, I need one of you boys to come jump on the show." And he's like, "Oh, yeah, man, Alexander Foster said he'll do it." And I was like, "Bro, beautiful, man. I've been trying to search you up. I've got a few of your highlights. The mid-range assassin, man. Got to talk about that mid-range game."
Yeah. You know, I'm not the best three-point shooter, but I figure if I can keep people on their toes, you know, in that in-between game, I can. It'll still allow me to get to the bucket like I like to. So.
Yeah, because we're going to talk about the whole dynamic of your team because your mid-range game kind of opens up the floor for everyone else. Look, first question, man, where'd the love of the game basketball come from?
Man, I don't know for sure because I've been playing, you know, ever since I was a little kid. You know, as soon as I could walk in, my mom bought me one of them little Fisher Price hoops. I've been playing. So I think it might have been maybe my mom used to watch Michael Jordan all the time. I used to sit there with her and, you know, I'd always look at the screen and think, oh, that was my dad because my dad's a bald black dude too. So I think that's sort of where it started and then it just kind of rose from there.
Yeah, beautiful, man. Who'd you mold did you have a certain player where you kind of wanted to mold your game around when you were young?
Man, I never really had, like, I was never going to say like I was a Kobe fan, but like, as you can see, my mid-range, I always sort of played that sort of style. And then, you know, his defensive, you know, in tenacity and intensity, I feel like I always sort of veered towards that as well. You know, between him, D Wade was one of my favorites. And then I always try to be real well-rounded. So, I mean, LeBron's my favorite of all time. And, you know, he can do everything. He's a Swiss Army knife. Obviously, I'm not that big, but I always try to pride myself on being able to do a little bit of everything.
Yeah, beautiful, bro. Name some key players. I think all three players that you named are on my grades there, bro, on my board. D Wade's my go, but I love D Wade. The way he plays the game, especially his defense and things like that. D Wade's up there. Now you kind of talked about it too. You got the build, and I know you played American footy down there in college, or gridiron as you call it.
Yeah,
that kind of evolved to basketball with your tenacity for defense.
Yeah. So that I mean, I always played both growing up. So I think just naturally my game in basketball it was translated from playing football. I was a wide receiver and a free safety. So, you know, I played defense, played offense. I like hitting people. I love the physicality of it. So that just transferred into basketball season, you know, get a couple bumps here and there and, you know, we're good to go.
I got to ask you, man, because look, I love my American footy. I think I told you just earlier, I actually did play for UTS, playing as a wide receiver. But I do enjoy playing safety also. For you, which position's harder?
Man, look, I'll always say being a receiver is harder only because you actually have to catch the ball. You know, we always used to make fun of DBs in college and high school. It's like you're DBs because you can't catch. So, I mean, I know defensive players, it's hard for them because they have to react to us. But if you don't have to catch the ball, how hard is it really?
Yeah, but that's the thing, man. You can get burned so easy. Yeah. You can get burned, man. And when you get burned, everyone lets you hear about it too.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, I don't know. I think it just depends on what aspect you want to look at it for. Like their playbook's also easier. You know, as a DB, it's read and react as, you know, as a receiver. If you don't get your play right, that could screw up the entire offense. So I think it depends on your perspective on it, you know.
Now, before we move on, bro, who's your NFL team?
Green Bay, hometown team. Yeah.
Man, hey, they're balling this year, man. Surprise packets.
Yeah, playing well. I hope they can keep it up. You know, we had a little bit of a disappointing loss last year in the playoffs, you know, giving up that come from behind victory to the 49ers. So hopefully they can go all the way this year. They're looking good.
I mean, last year, you guys just making the playoffs was a bonus. But this year, you've taken it another level and, man, with the 49ers out of the equation, bro, the NFC is kind of wide open at the moment. So
Yeah, it's looking good for us. I mean, the Lions look good, but they just got banged up last week, and we've got that matchup coming up this week. So it'll be a nice little test before these playoffs start.
But I love watching the offense too. Matt LaFleur's he's balling up at the moment, bro. He's drawing
Hell
up some
yeah,
plays.
yeah.
And yeah, Josh Jacobs, whew, what a signing.
Man, it's a hell of a running back. There was a bit of a swing, getting rid of Aaron Jones, but it's paying off for sure.
Yeah, Aaron Jones, man. Look, I love Aaron Jones. I was in my fantasy team, but he's unreliable, man. He's always injured.
Yeah,
He's always injured.
he is hurt a lot. He is hurt a lot.
Now, hey, let's talk about it. You came down to Australia to play
Yep.
NFL, but then you kind of found a home at Bankstown Bruins.
Yep.
What's that relationship like, and how important has the Bankstown Bruins been to yourself?
Oh, it's been great, man. When I first got here, I was telling some of my buddies up in Queensland that I was playing football with that I wanted to come down and play basketball, and they said, "Oh, message a few of these teams." So I emailed out. Will Lopez was director of coaching at the time, so I sent him an email, and he was like, I sent a few teams an email. Sutherland was one of them. Norse. Um, Everyone was a bit standoffish, but Will really, he was like, "Yeah, for sure. I've seen your tape. As long as you're not like asking for too much, come down for a tryout. We'll see how you fit with the team." So, yeah, got here in December, went and tried with the team, and from there, it just blossomed, man. It's really a family environment that make you feel like it's home. It's the reason I've been there, and this will be my 7th season now. And it's the reason I don't plan on going anywhere else because, it's you join that Bruins association and it's really a family. It's not all we're here for. We're there for business. We're there to take care of things, but we're there to take care of each other first.
Yeah, beautiful, man. And look, what's been your favorite Bruins memory so far out of your sort of long 7 years there at the moment?
Oof. I mean, it's got to be the recent one, man. We hadn't made the playoffs until this past season, so man, finally breaking through that one. It's got to be, that's up there for moments for me.
Hey, let's talk about that, man, because I was writing because last year I was covering the NBL One East, and he went down
Yep.
to the last game of the season. I think it
Yep.
was you guys against, was it Illawarra or no?
Sutherland. Sutherland
Sutherland.
was the one that did it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then you kind of did make the playoffs. What was that experience like, and who caught your eye from the team?
Yeah, that was big because it really took, and I think that game even went into overtime. So it's that came down to it. It took a lot of resilience from the team, and I think a big thing from that was Coach Curtis, man. He instilled that in us, from the jump. We're gonna push through this hard stuff. So, he coached hard. Training camp was hard. Preseason was hard. And as a group, we pushed through everything. So I think, getting towards the end of that season, we were able to find spots in games where, previously I don't know, we mentally didn't have it to push through that hard stuff. And, Curtis really put that in our minds that, we can finish through those things. So I think that was a big part of it.
Because I remember also speaking to Sharif Sapir, and he was like,
Yep,
"Man, like we got a good defensive team."
we do.
How much did you guys kind of put an impetus on? You know what, we have to focus on our defense, and then the
Yeah.
offense will take care of itself. Because, bro, you had some shooters there too. You had Andre Wilford, Hayden
Yep.
Blankley. What was that like?
Yeah, so that was the thing is that, Curtis came in, he said, "Look, if you can't play defense, you can't play for me." So that was our motto all year, right? Offense, you can't control whether or not the ball goes in the bucket. And we had a lot of natural scorers. So our big thing was our attitude, our effort on the defensive end is going to turn into easy buckets on the other end for us. So yeah, defense was a big part of the way we prepared.
Now, how excited are you for this upcoming season? What's the plans? What's the goals for this team?
Yeah, real excited. Goal last year was to, make the playoffs. Now, I mean, we haven't talked about it quite yet, but I know in my mind it's not only make the playoffs, but make a significant run. Even if it's not winning the championship, obviously we all want to say, yeah, our goal is to win the championship every year. But we took that step. Now I think win 1-2 games in the playoffs. Progression.
And the thing that I'm most excited about, you mentioned the whole Bruins family, is, man, I'm actually going to be doing some work with the Bankstown Bruins. I'm going to be doing some social media work for them and also commentating the games. And, man, I can't wait to I guess like especially watching you in the UBL currently, you pride yourself on defense,
Yep.
mid-range assassin, good team player. And man, I'm really, really keen for this season. And as you said, if that's the goal is to make the playoffs, then bro, I'm going to be loving my work.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. I think you're in to see some good games. I think we got a lot of guys returning. Yeah, looking to build on last year. So I think, it'll be a good, real fun season coming up.
Now, one player in particular that I just want to talk to you about real quick is Charlie Macbeth. When he came into
Yep.
your squad last year, he was a young player.
Yep.
What part of his game caught your eye where you go, you know what, like this kid's got something?
Scoring ability. His scoring ability is, it's second to none. He can put the ball in the bucket. I think we still got to work with him a little bit on shot selection sometimes, but he's a great young player. He works his ass off. He's always in the right spot to get an offensive rebound, plays good defense. So, all those things put together, man, he's an all-around talent.
Beautiful. Now, hey, look, we're going to get into the UBL currently. Look,
Yep.
you guys are the reigning champs. Now, the pointy end of the season, there's like one round to go, and this is a massive, massive clash for you guys. Versus Fast Break MVP.
Yep.
What's your mindset heading into this game?
Win at all costs. I think with them losing last week, mathematically, I think we're pretty set in stone, one or two. But the guys we have on the team, our mindset is always we want to win everything. Every game every time we step on the court, we want to win it, and we want to do it convincingly. So yeah, going into last week, man, we know it's going to be, it's just going to be a dogfight. That's a good team, but we're walking out there thinking, yeah, we're going to go win this game.
Oh, beautiful. Now, look, to start off our UBL top 3 storylines, I actually got that first game, Fast Break MVP, up against Breakdown last week. You guys were playing the court at the same time. But listen, I know it was a bit different, like the atmosphere, everything. Did you guys feel it playing on the other side of the court?
You do feel it a little bit. I think sometimes it depends on your matchup. So, if we were to have one of those other two teams, and still be on that other court, you still get that atmosphere of like a tough game. But you play, it's hard to say, you don't want to say, hey, you sort of drop a little bit playing on that other court, but it does feel a little different. You don't have the stands. But you still do your best as a team to still go out there and, take it seriously and put in that work.
Beautiful. Now, look, my second question, I don't know if my mathematics are a bit wrong here, but this is a battle for first place for you guys. Because I know Fast Break MVP have played a game less. So if you guys do lose, I think I'll have you come in third. If Breakdown take care of business up against Southwest Sonics.
Yep.
So, man, is a top 2 seed for you guys important for you guys to go, you know what, we want that double chance?
Yeah, look, I mean, I think ideally it's important for us, not so much for the double chance part, but for the bye week part, right? So, like I said, we've got a team full of guys that believe, we buy in, we believe in each other, we think we can beat any team in this league. So, finishing first or second, like I said, I don't know, I didn't do the math myself. So, however that shakes out, we want that top 2. Because we believe we can win that first game and then get that bye that second round. So, yeah, it's definitely important for us.
Now, my sort of next question, top 3 storyline is that matchup up against Glebe Magic. Glebe Magic have a superstar there, Iliasia Washington, playing for them. And you were hounding him, man. You were playing defense. And you got 5 steals also that game. How much do you take pride in going, you know what, I'm that defender guy. Like, I'm going to shut down their best player. How much do you take pride in that?
Yeah. All the pride in the world, man. That's what I predicate my game on. As you've seen me play on the court. I'm not the biggest, I'm not the fastest, I'm not the strongest, and I never have been. So for me, it was always being physical, playing defense. You don't get to control whether or not you're the scorer on the team, but you can control whether or not you outwork everybody on the team. So that's my biggest thing, and that's what defense is predicated on. So yeah, it's a big part of it.
Beautiful, man. Because my favorite thing about the top 3, and I know top 3, I got Southwest Sonics there. They're going to be in the 4th place, and they got a bunch of young ballers there that can compete. But with the top 3, you guys all have different styles.
Yeah, very much.
Your style kind of is more on like the whole ball movement, and you play a massive part in that because when they find you in the post, you kind of draw in the defenders and then you kick it out, shoot your midi or Nico there. You got some shooters in Johnny also.
Yeah.
How important is that whole team chemistry for you guys?
Very. Yeah, very. I think, yeah, like you said, because we're so different than the other two teams, like we have talent, right? Don't get me wrong. We have talent, but I think those other two teams are really predicated on their talent. Whereas our team is, I was saying it to some of the guys the other day that our team it's a lot of the NBL 1 East high end role players, guys that can play defense. They play the right way. All of us, we like to distribute. We like playing together. Even though we've only played that, I think we've only had that full team, for that last season. We all enjoy each other, and that chemistry is huge for us. We're really familiar with our games. We know what each of us like to do, where we like the ball, how to bounce, communicate, play off each other. So, yeah, that's huge for us.
Yeah, because you kind of made that great point there where it's like, as a collective, like you do have the talent, but
Yeah.
when you look at it individually, like breakdown basketball, fast break MVP, they do have kind of more of that flair, athleticism. But
Right.
bro, when I was looking at your squad, I was like, hey, bro, like that's Kalen Baylor, that's Nico, that's Tony, Cam Day, Johnny, Ben Kieran's, and Aaron Nankara, also that young fella.
Yeah.
And it's like a well-oiled machine. You all know your roles. I was talking to Kalen Baylor also because he had a game where he dropped 10 assists. And he's like, bro, I'm glad you noticed them, man, because, like, assists are underappreciated. And I was like, bro, nah, man, like, that's part of a whole team basketball, like a well-oiled machine. And I feel like you have the best mid-range game in the UBL, and he kind of opens up the floor for the rest of the team. So I
appreciate
that. Shout out for that.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate it. It's something, it's a lost art in basketball nowadays. Everybody wants to drive or shoot the three. And I think because of that, everyone defends the drive or the three. So, it opens up for me. My teammates find me in great spots, which allows me. And because they can shoot so well from the outside, everyone runs out to them. So, it makes my life easy.
I want to ask you too, man. How did you guys recruit each other? Like, how did you guys go? Yeah, you know what? Hey, let's actually play together because you all play for different clubs.
Yeah.
So how did that happen?
So I think a lot of the Inner West boys were sort of already playing for Wildcats. And then I decided last season that I was like, oh, look, I hadn't played in UBL yet. I said to Cam, I'm looking for a team. Do you know any teams that are looking for a player? And he goes, oh, we might be. Because Cam played with me with Bankstown a few years ago. Yeah, and then jumped on with those boys last year, and we kept it rolling from there. And then in addition, I think Josh Cowie, Aaron, they're new additions this year, and I think we were looking for a big, so Aaron comes in handy. We're looking for another power forward type guy, so Josh comes in handy, and they're great players. So I think between Cam and Ben Kieran's, they sort of recruited them and got them in with us as well.
No, beautiful. Because I want to talk about Aaron. He kind of, because I was looking at the stats. As I said, I didn't cover the league at the start of the season.
Yeah.
Pretty much was like, I wouldn't say non-existent, but he wasn't getting the minutes. He wasn't doing all those things. And then bang, man, he jumped on and put 40 points, 3 rebounds. What's his game like then? Like, what's his sort of potential?
Yeah, he's got big potential. He's strong. He can shoot it a little bit from the outside, keeps the other bigs on edge. His game, he can be dominant, inside, right? He can back guys down. He might struggle with like a big Nate or something backing him down, but that's just because Nate's so heavy, you know what I mean? So, but he exploits matchups. If he sees someone smaller than him, he's putting them inside, going over the top of them, and as you can see, them 40 points, they don't happen for no reason.
That's crazy, man. Now, look, I'm going to go through our UBL team of the week. I normally select one player from each winning team. I have Isaac Gundy, 33 points, 8 rebounds, 4 steals for the Southwest Sonics. Cooper Wilkes, 28 points, 7 rebounds, 10 from 12 field goals. And A-Man Cooper Wilkes was a man possessed up against fast break MVP.
Yeah.
His physicality was the difference for me in the end. Because, 10 from 12 field goals, and I think he was like 8 from 13, so he was busy getting to the free throw line.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was the major difference where fast break MVP kind of lacked that size in the middle. Next up, I got Oliver Rossiter, 41 points, 6 rebounds, 15 from 22, just shooting the ball lights out. I got David Young, 47 points, 4 steals, 19 from 27 field goals. Hey, man, he was shooting the ball lights out, bro. He was just feeding himself, and it was good to watch. Because, like, after a long day, bro, because I get there at 2:30, and then the last
Yep.
game, I enjoyed it because with the UBL, I kind of always post a highlight of each team that win the game. And
Right.
I saw KBC and Top Flight, and I was like, hey, it's a new team. I'm going to post someone new. So I was actually looking forward to that game. And yeah, he put on a show.
Yeah.
And for the Perth Wildcats Gold, I actually had yourself, Adrian Foster, 18 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 steals. Because there was that one interaction there with Elysia Washington, and he's like, hey, man, come on, bro. And you were just trying to prevent the ball from going to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yes.
talk to us. So for any young fella that's that wants to play defense, what are the things that he needs to do to be successful in that role?
Look, I won't say defense doesn't take any smarts because you do have to sort of think and anticipate. So those are big things. You have to know the game, know who you're guarding. Those go into it, right? Don't get me wrong, but the best defenders generally are also the guys that work the hardest, right? Outwork everybody. Don't be afraid to dive on the floor for loose balls, that sort of stuff. Don't be afraid to put your body on the line because that's what great defenders do. And I've tried to do that my whole career. So yeah, that'd be my advice for sure.
Because there was one key moment in that game where you were playing close-up defense, and I think someone took a bad shot, and they got the rebound, got the fast break, and I just saw your face going, like, damn, man, I'm not catching up to him this time.
Yeah, yeah. Look, like I'm getting older, starting to be a vet in this league now, so there's some of them ones I can't chase down anymore, but I still try where I can.
Nah, beautiful. Yeah, because as I said, man, I take pride in my defense, and that's the thing that caught my eye off you straight away, and I was like, hey, bro, like, nah, that's respect. And hey, you're the captain, bro. Lead by example with the Bruins.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Do you take pride in your leadership also? And what message do you try to bring across to the boys?
Look, I mean, I've sort of harped on it all this whole chat we've had that, attitude and effort, right? What I try to talk to them about all the time is, we can't control whether or not that ball goes in. But we can control how we react to each other, how hard we play for each other. And, I really try to bring the guys together in that way that, we're going to we're busting our ass out here. Practice can get chippy sometimes. It is what it is. We get competitive and it gets a little chippy, but at the end of the day, man, we're doing this together and we're always working. So.
Beautiful. Now I'm going to talk about a quote that Andre Wolford said. Good guys don't bleed. What does that mean?
Yeah. So look, funny story. We were in the locker room after a game, and our other teammate, Nay, I think he got a scratch on his leg from somebody, or he got a scratch on his arm or something. And I made a joke. I was like, "Come on, bro! Like, what are you bleeding for?" He goes, "What? Oh, so you can't? What? We can't bleed?" And I. So I just said to him, I was like, hell no, man, real niggas don't bleed, bro. And it was just a running joke the rest of the season.
Beautiful, bro. You needed that. Because I know the Bankstown Bruins squad was a young squad last year. And you guys making the playoffs was a huge step. So I actually can't wait. And I'm very, very excited for this upcoming season for you guys.
Yeah.
Now, before we end the show, I got my love of the game, top 3 questions for you.
Yep.
My first question, if you could turn back time, where would you go and what would you change?
Oh, turn back time, in my lifetime? Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, in your lifetime.
Okay. Man, I don't know if I'd change anything. If anything, I'd probably turn back time, maybe to college, just go back, have some fun again, play a bit of football again. I do miss it sometimes, so. Yeah, I'd probably go back there just for a little bit.
Oh, beautiful. And my second question, can you build your NBA Dream Team 5?
Oh, NBA current?
Current. No, all time.
All time. All right, so my dream team, look, personally, I'm going, LeBron at my point guard, right? Everyone says he's not a scorer. He can distribute the ball, so I'll make him my point guard. I put Kobe at my 2. I put MJ at my 3. or vice versa. You can flip them however you want. I need to space the floor a little bit, so I'm gonna go non-traditional. I'm gonna put Dirk in my 4, spread things out a little bit, and then Shaq Diesel at my 5. So
And that's a beautiful 5. And low key, man, I love that LeBron at point guard because he's probably has one of the best IQs in the game, man. I love watching him play. And you got him as your GOAT also, didn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I personally, I like GOAT debates for the fun of it, but at the end of the day, I don't feel like anyone's changing anyone's mind.
Yeah, 100%.
I think the GOAT debate it's too predicated on nostalgia. So when I do have a GOAT debate, it's a grain of salt because obviously I grew up with LeBron. I'm right in that prime time age of where he's playing for the Heat as I was really coming into age learning basketball, and then MJ, obviously I saw him play a little bit as a kid, but I didn't grow up with him, so he wasn't really, you know what I mean? So yeah, I do have LeBron, but if someone says 1-2, 2-1, I'll let it go.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that because I got LeBron. Just for the fact is that, man, when he came in, because I don't know why, but sometimes at the start of every NBA season, I kind of go on those little YouTube trails, and I always watch his first game up against Sacramento Kings, and then I'll go back and listen to his interview when he was a kid, talking about this is how I play the game, and it's never changed, man. Yep. And the thing I love about it is everyone wants to take that game-winning shot, but so do the other 4 players that are on the court, man. And if they're open, he finds them, bro, have your moment, do your thing.
I agree.
So that's one thing that I always respected about that.
Yeah, I agree for sure. That's one of my big things with Bron. Like we talked about earlier, man, his well-roundedness, his ability to look at the game and be like, you know what, I don't need to take this shot when I'm being triple teamed and there's Kyle Korver sitting in the corner, right? I'm gonna kick that ball out. So yeah, that's definitely one of my big things with him.
Yeah, because that was when I kind of fell in love with basketball, man. The LeBron, Dwayne Wade at Miami Heat. That was it for me, man. That was prime time, bro.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Beautiful. And my last question is, what's next for Alexander Foster, and what's your goals?
Oh man, what's next? I mean, look, at the moment, man, I'm just focused on hooping, playing for the Bruins. My biggest goal for me right now is to hit 100 games. I hit my 50 last season, so look, I mean, obviously I know that's just NBL 1 games. I'm probably at 100 if you include ABA and Warsaw League and whatever. But I want to hit 100 NBL 1, and then we'll go from there.
Beautiful, man. And look, man, I see that gym behind you, taking care of the body, taking care of the mind, and things like that. So 100 games shouldn't be a problem. And I love the game. Can't wait to sort of follow your journey and the Bankstown Bruins journey.
I appreciate it, man, and thanks for having me. I really appreciate this opportunity.
No, it's my pleasure, man. My pleasure. Because as I said, man, I was trying to find your Instagram handles because I got a lot of clips of you shooting your little mid ranges and things like that. I was like, hey, this is clean, bro. This guy's nice with it. And then when Cam Day say, hey, Foster will do it, I was like, fucking sign us up for that, bro.
Yeah, beautiful.
And beautiful. Appreciate that, and can't wait for you this Saturday. And also, wait, before we end the show, I want to thank Zach Roberts. He's the videographer at the moment. Doing his thing for the UBL. He just put up a mad video for Fast Break MVP up against Breakdown Basketball. And he's going to be doing his thing again this week up against Wildcats Gold versus MVP. He's pretty much in for the rest of the season. So stay tuned for that because, yeah, man, that guy has some crazy talent.
Yeah,
he's killing it. Did you catch that clip?
Yeah, he's killing it. Yeah, for sure. He's doing a great job with the video work. So, yeah, tell him to keep it up for me.
No, we'll do that. And he's going to be there this weekend, bro. So let's see some of those mid-ranges.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll shoot a couple and, I'll make sure I tell him to get it on film.
No, beautiful, bro. Appreciate it. Thank you for your time, man. And, yeah, thank you for joining Love of the Game.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks, man.